Heyo everybody, Haku here with my live reaction for One Piece chapter 1120. I should say live reaction bingo. As usual, intro bit. If you want to get these videos a little bit early, I post them when the scans come out for patrons and channel members, so you can become a patron or channel member if you want them a little bit early. Or, um, also, if you want to play along, generate your own bingo card. I always put a link to the bingo card generator down in the comments and description. I always update it at least a tiny little bit between each week, between each new chapter coming out. So there's always new things that you could potentially generate. Your card's going to end up different than mine. There are different spaces you can get, so you might get some things that I don't get as a possibility. So you can play bingo along when you read as well, or also when you watch this. I really should post the generator like earlier on in like Discord and Twitter and everything. I should be better about posting that more early for everybody. But yeah, if you want to play along, there will be a link down in the comments and description as there always is. And I guess that's really all there is to say. I don't 100% remember. It feels like the past 2 weeks since the last chapter was the longest time ever. I guess, yeah, it's coming back to me now. We had the Iron Giant, we had Emeth, which is a really, really cool reference for that name. I talked about it last week. Punching one of the Gorosei, and the message might still be ongoing. I think one of the coolest things, though, about last chapter is just the idea that we could get into like Joy Boy being the first pirate and all, having this really cool crew that you could maybe view as similar to the Straw Hats. You got people like Zunisha that could be like the crew's Chopper, people like Emeth who could be the crew's Frankie, and like Emeth just changed his body into robot parts so much over the years that they eventually became robot. Much like Zunisha, just big elephant monster form or something. Though I think Oda has said that the long-legged elephants are like Zunisha's actual, like it's not a devil fruit, that's their actual people. So who knows? Who knows? But I think it's cool seeing some of the allies of Joy Boy. Either way though, before we get into reading, we gotta see what I got on my card. So on my card, let's generate, I got a parent. Okay, this chapter is titled Atlas, and I said I was getting rid of named character death before, because if a character dies, we're probably not going to know in the chapter that they died. But with a title like Atlas, I was like, Atlas might die, so I gave, at least for this week, I don't know if I'll keep it around, I added back into the rotation a parent named character death. So if it seems like a named character dies this chapter, that counts, even if we find out later that it was a fake out death. As long as a character seems like they die in this chapter, that's what that space means. We got Cypher Pole, revolutionaries other than Kuma, Seraphim, named attack, any Straw Hat member, Yonko, Carrot and or Zunisha, Wano Piece, which is if we see Wano, which we might because of the color, or the cover spread. Cover story arc. Food, Vegapunks, Morgans, Gorosei, Free Space which we can click, Thousand Sunny, Bounty Reveal, Vegapunk, Blood Sweater, Tears, Cross Guild, Pacifista, New Name Devil Fruit, Nika mentioned, Smoker, Iron Giant, Lar Kid, Devil Fruit Awakening. I'm seeing a lot of really good spaces that I think it'd be really easy to get, but sadly there's also some like Smoker or Lar Kid that I'm like, okay, that's a long shot. So I have some tougher spaces as well mixed in there. Honestly, I feel like if we do have an apparent named character death with Atlas or something, the B column, we might see some Vegapunks Morgans. So who knows? Let's get into reading, see what we get here with the cover page first, and then we can maybe fill some of this in. Also, just checking to make sure everything looks good for you recording-wise. So we have chapter 1120, Atlas. We have a bunch of kids in a bag with Denjiro? Onichild Yamato and the Holy Inari Shrine Pilgrimage, Volume 10. Kids getting put in time out by the Daimyo of Kibi, Denjiro. Okay, so now we have Daimyo of Kibi, Denjiro. And these are the same kids, I guess, that were bullying Yamato last time. Alright, we have a couple things that we could fill in here already. Not too many. I was hoping somebody'd maybe have some food or something. But we do have at least Wano Piece And we might... Do I have any... I don't have any island other than Egghead. Okay. We might have blood, sweat, or tears, though. Hold on. We got some sweat in there. Are we sweat scaling? Not... I mean, not really. Nothing that you can say is for sure 100% sweat. Alright. I guess that's it. Just glancing through. Alright. Well, I was hoping to pull more off the cover arc. Then we have 26 years ago, Punk Hazard, a genius in his prime. I implore you, Vegapunk, please aid us in our research. It's imperative that we study the Void Century. The world's history can't remain shrouded in darkness. Our research requires expertise in numerous fields. I work for the government now. I can't afford to leak my findings. Growl, and we have the false dragon. And then, how many times have they caught you anyway? Open your eyes. Can't you see why why they keep letting you go free? We have Clover. They're hoping to flush out your allies. Stand down. Let the past remain shrouded. You won't find the answer to good and evil in a bunch of old stories. I once knew someone who carried a D in their name. He was killed right in front of me. We grew up together. He was my big brother. So we're having more Will of D. My real name, oh my, we're just getting so much more. Is it Clom? I don't remember. They used that word in Little Witch Academia, Clom D Clover. So we have Clom D Clover. So we have more people from D and more Clover importance. We were only friends. On that day, I lied to save myself. Tell me, how am I meant to accept a world where you can die just for having the wrong name? History will only continue to be suppressed, and the people will never know. So is this why Vegapunk got curious and found out more about the name D? I'll forget about what you just told me, but I'm afraid I can't help you. Do your best to stay safe. Vegapunk. The voices of the past call out to you. Just wait. I'll solve this puzzle, and when I do, you won't be able to ignore them. Okay? I'm taking a little bit of this in. We got some sweat on Clover's face. Okay. Just taking a little in. And before I continue on to this next page, since we've been through a couple, let's check this. Anything new? We do have Blood, Sweat, or Tears. And we have Flashback. Did I not get Flashback? I'm pretty sure Flashback is a space you can get. If so, I'm just getting really unlucky with this stuff. Wow, I would have never expected a new D family name reveal. That's one that I wouldn't have gotten. So we do have those two. Crazy though. All right, I feel like maybe I didn't draw the best card, so to speak. 22 years ago. Did you hear the news from the West Blue? O'Hara came face to face with a buster call. Take a look, it's the biggest massacre ever. They finally got that archaeologist, Clover. Shoo-do-do-do-do-do. That's what happens when you look into the Void Century. No one's gonna make that mistake again. I implore you, Vegapunk. Oh? It looks like some brat survived. We have Robin's bounty poster. You must have had a chance to escape, Clover. And we see him reaching the pond where all of the books were dumped. You chose death. Was passing on your research that important? So Clover was him. Clover was actually him. You fools, did you expect someone to be curious enough to follow in your footsteps after this? And if we didn't have tears before, we have them now. Someone once told me that the voices of the past call out to you. History is written by the victors, and the words of the vanquished are usually cast into the deep, dark ocean. We have Zeph and Patty. That being said, their truth can still come to light. And is that, I forget what it's not Tequila Wolf, right? Like, that's not it, because it was taken over, destroyed, or whatever by the revolutionaries, right? Maybe it's Kaido's home kingdom? Is that Vodka Kingdom, maybe? if the oppressed carry it on their backs and endure. And then, for my part, I'm leaving this to the world. Hey, what are you doing? Hurry up and blast off. We have Zoro and we have the Thousand Sunny. It's no good, we can't. That old centaur's gonna keep attacking. We're finished if he does. The ship can only fly for a kilometer. If the geezer disrupts our trajectory even a little, we won't make it. The wind's blowing north, and that's reducing our lift. Any further jolts will make us fall short of our projected landing zone. According to my sorry, I got distracted by something. I'll bring it up in a sec. Next panel. According to my calculations, if we miss the ocean, our damages will be critical. We have to get rid of him first. What? It's been a long while, so it's long since removed from the board. But we got Egghead butt fan service again. That was one of the early pieces of the board. Like, it's been a while. We haven't seen that. But we're once again reminded that Egghead is the whole Cake Island. Sorry about the cut. I had to answer my phone, but we're back here, so let's see what we might have got from these past few pages. I know we've definitely got a few here. So a parent named character death. It wasn't a flashback. Do we count it with Clover? Do we count that? I guess let me just be generous. Okay. If we, I'll mark it if we get, a parent death in the present, but if we don't, if we get to the end, and it's, really necessary, we'll mark it in respect to Clover's sacrifice. We do have Straw Hat members, though, and we do have the Thousand Sunny. I don't think we just saw Venus Juro, so we have the Gorosei. I don't think we've seen Pacifista yet. Do we have Devil Fruit Awakening? I mean, I guess he has the thing around himself, the smoke thingy. That means Devil Fruit Awakening, right? I'll hold off on it for right this second. Let me get back to the chapter, just because I haven't looked at the chapter in a second while I was answering my phone. Yeah, he does have the thing around himself, so that's definitely Devil Fruit Awakening. So what I need's a named attack. We might get an easy bingo, actually. I didn't expect that one to come in so easily. The diagonal here. Let's get back to the chapter. We have Atlas coming in, and Atlas hits... Is it another traitor, or are they going to say, shut up and go, and Atlas is going to sacrifice themselves? Huh? Atlas? Hugh, why did you do that to Lilith? And then... I'll leave her in your hands. Okay, knocking out Lilith to send with the Straw Hats. So, it's are we getting Lilith for Straw Hat? There's so many confusing things, like having a Vegapunk left behind. What are we going to do with Bonnie? What are we doing with these characters? And what is really even the level of distinction between Straw Hat or non-Straw Hat anymore? Because it's there have been just a lot of allies that have gotten more screen time and have been more important to the story in the past few arcs than, a bunch of the Straw Hats, so it's they might as well be Straw Hats. They got the story and the focus and the attention. Meanwhile, a lot of the Straw Hats just haven't done a single thing for arcs at a time, so it's what's really the difference? The distinction. I'll leave her in your hands. Take off. I'll make sure you make it in one piece. They said the thing. What are you talking about? Lilith's access has been severed. Atlas is the only one left, says York. Take Lilith inside, Zoro. Got it. Atlas, you've got to explain. And Atlas flies off to Venus Juro. Let's go. Jinbei? We'd regret it if we hesitated now. Do it, Brooke. Right away, Zoro-san. Kude. Then Atlas's arm gets taken off. But they grab with the other arm, it looks like. We have rocket boosters at their feet, trying to push away. Burst. This broadcast of mine. I'm praying that this message gets transmitted safely. Whoa, Vice Admiral Houndsir, what is this? There's a snake, a boar, a bird, and now a robot? Where'd these giant creatures come from? Honestly, I don't have the faintest idea. It's the huge robo! And Luffy's freaking out. An iron giant? And we have Frankie, Sanji, and the rest of the giant crew. Joy Boy. I'm happy we got to meet again. And then Luffy looks away like, who? Over here, over here, you. Okay, so he's actually hearing it in the present. I realized it'd be foolish to blindly trust in a one-sided account of a 900-year-old battle. I came like before. Your enemy's my enemy. I'm glad. I can fight for you again, Joy Boy. You can talk? That's so cool. Emmett is actually sick. I am again like the boys in the series with the sparkly eyes over the robots. I'm like, Emmett is so cool. Like, I wasn't as interested when it was just some random robot, Void Century robot. Like, that was cool. That gave us a lot of lore and stuff. But it actually having like a ego, a mind, a sentience is really cool. I'll protect you from danger, Joy Boy. We must pound them to dust. Seems Vegapunk's speech is all but over. Okay, before I can continue, I know there's a few more things that I can fill in. I know I can say Yonko. We didn't have named attack. We just had the flying in. I'm going to give apparent named character death. I'm going to just say it. I might be calling it early, but I'll just throw it out here. I don't think we've had any. We have Iron Giant. I think that might be it, though. So, yeah, I'm just glancing through. We still need named attack. We haven't had Nika mentioned. We've had Joy Boy mentioned. Okay, let's continue. I don't know if, like, I really should fill in apparent named character death yet. But, I mean, we did have the Clover stuff. We'll see. It talked. We didn't hear a thing. Whoa, really? Oh, wait, sorry, I skipped. Let's go. Hey, Strad, is he a friend? Not really. He was saying something about protecting some guy called Joy Boy. Who even is that? It talked. We didn't hear a thing. Whoa, really? Enough chit-chat. Shoot them. We can't let them get away. Yes, ma'am. And all the Navy starts firing. But I think we should be able to scrutinize and learn more about the past from every perspective possible. I only wish I had more time. And he lines up his arm to the sandworm coming up. Is he going to do a strong left? Or a weapons left? But there are those who cannot be stopped. It's ready to fire. What's going to come out? Frankie and Sanji. That's great. Uh-oh. What? Watch out, robot. And his arm gets bitten off, it looks like. He tries to catch with his other arm. Whoa, robot. It seems the last 900 years have rendered those weapons inoperable. Peter, crush them where they stand. End this transmission once and for all. And then Saturn jumps from his back and onto the ship. I will not let you escape. Kuma, Bonnie. Huh. That's the Sunny. And hold on tight, we're going down. Are we gonna make it? So, you mean to make a grand sacrifice of yourself? And Atlas is holding him back. And we have another slice. Nah, I'm just lending a hand. And we have this massive explosion. Again, is Atlas going to be yet another dying with a smile on their face? Mad respect for Atlas. And then this, hold on, this panel is so tiny. I don't know why they changed their reader. I'm pulling it up as a full-sized thing. Let me just make sure the recording looks okay. 25 years ago, the pirate Goldie Roger. Is this going to be massive? Hold on, I'm trying not to look past the panel that I'm on. We're going to make it. Achieve the unprecedented by circumnavigating the globe. It only worked because of you, right, Atlas? And they're crying. I have no doubt. They heard the whole thing. Atlas's signal is gone. It's finally happened, says York. I'm the last Vegapunk. No, not quite. And we have part of the head blown off of Venus Juro. We have let you say far too much, Stella. Indeed, this is the end. Oh my, I really have rusted away, says Emeth. This is the time you spoke of, right, Joy Boy? Can I use it? They must have heard the voices of the past from the purest source possible. I'm confident. Hold on! I just got chills. From the purest source possible. The voices of the past. is there some sort of remnant of Joy Boy that they hear from Joy Boy's voice? I'm confident you all have come to the same conclusion at this point, and I anticipate that's what'll ultimately determine how things transpire in the future. Wait, what was that? Did he say Goldie? Cover and color spread next issue. A visionary envisions the future. What? This is a weird ending. That is the last page. That's like not even like a real cliffhanger. He's just like got off mid-sentence. I guess maybe it's the purest type of cliffhanger? Okay. Like, I'm not left with some big revelation. I'm just kind of like, okay, continue saying what you were going to say. Once again, though, much like the past few chapters, this one was really, really, really good. Like, the Vegapunks have been solid characters. I wish we had, instead of skipping over the main bulk of Egghead, I wish we had taken the time to actually play out the Egghead stuff that got off-screened. I think that would have been very nice. Because the characters from this have been good. I will say, again, the big problem that's been going on for many, many arcs continues here with the Gorosei just looking a little like, they look very cool and strong, but also not that very cool and strong. The world government being incredibly, I guess they couldn't look worse than they did late Wano when they're talking about the Aspel no Mi. They can't really look worse than then when they're like, oh man, how could this devil fruit just get away from get away from us, this thing that we knew about this entire time? How could this possibly happen? They can't look worse than then, but the world government is constantly made to look really incompetent in One Piece. So it's interesting. It seems like Kuma's maybe probably gonna die, if not already. Stella's dead, most of the Vegapunks are dead, but it seems like Lilith is going to maybe be the one to carry on the Will of Punk, where all the others are dead, except York. And I think this is a good way to end it, where York goes off with the girl, or with the world government, and stays alive. I think it's good not to kill off York, just to be like, this adds to the stakes, it adds to the danger, because they have York, and if York recreates the Mother Flame and is able to give the Mother Flame to the world government, they can just start nuking the place with the ancient weapon. Like, again, having York around working with the world government I think is big. We have no clue now what Emeth is going to do, or Emeth, whichever. We have no clue what they're going to do here. We still have more lore being dropped on us. We haven't stopped dropping lore, even to this point. So yeah. I'm just realizing too, we didn't actually, through all of this, all of these moves that all these characters made, none of them called it like an actual named move. What on earth? How? How did we go through? I mean, does Kuda Burst count? Because if so, I mean, that's the thing. If Kuda Burst counts, let's see. What else do I have, though? It's like, does Kuda Burst count? It's not necessarily an attack. I think that's maybe all we have, though. I don't know if we have anything else. Wow. So I might be one off. Yeah, I guess I'm one off. Oof. One off in two different places as well. Oh well. You know, sometimes we don't always get the best of luck. Either way, let's end things here, I guess. I don't really think there's anything else to talk about that I didn't talk about while reacting. I thought it was a very good chapter once again. I had a ton of fun with it. I really can't wait to see what next week is then, because we're getting more lore drops. We're getting even more lore. I really like the Vegapunks. I respect Atlas a lot. Atlas had a nice character arc. It's always good in one of these long-running shonen to have a full character arc from beginning to end, and Atlas wasn't like that serious, wasn't that focused on, but really all of the little side Vegapunks, I think all of them have been good. I mean, Shaka was underwhelming, but I think that the shock of having Shaka get taken out immediately without doing really anything adds to it. I think that's fine. So, yeah, I think the Vegapunks were used well. We've killed all of them off, and I like the idea of keeping York alive with the world government, but keeping Lilith alive with the Straw Hat allies. So does Lilith continue with us and become the group scientist? Does Bonnie continue? Because it feels like, what are we going to do? Just drop them off at Elbaf and leave? What's the point? Why not just continue on at this point? But then again, you could say the same thing about, like, I thought that Yamato wasn't really well written enough to join the Straw Hats, but if Yamato did, I don't think I would be that extremely upset. I think Yamato was a poorly written character, but if Yamato joined, then it's like, yeah, I guess, fine, just a strong fighter to continue. Like, we don't have that much left, it seems like. We should. I hope we have a couple islands. I hope we're going to Elbaf. I hope we still do stuff with the moon, because that's, like, really, really important to things. At least having a couple chapters, like a little teeny mini stopover arc with Lodestar would be neat. I think that doing stuff at the Pirate Island is kind of a necessity. I really think the story should go there at some point. So there are still a couple things that I really think we need to do before getting to Laughtale and everything, but like, we're getting towards the end. It's like, so if Yamato stayed around, would have been fine. Carrot, I think Carrot was the easiest slam dunk, like the easiest layup of a character to not drop the ball on, but Wano P. Soda was just, I don't know, like inventing new levels of hackery and somehow dropped the ball there. No clue how. Like, that seemed like the easiest layup of a character to just finish up their character arc, and then maybe they continue with the Straw Hats, but then random out of left field going to be Queen of Zoe stuff happened that wasn't well written, like, whatsoever. So it's like, I just don't know what we do. I think, Kuma's probably dying. Most of these characters are dying, but then the ones that I think we're hung up on are Lilith. Does Lilith just carry on Vegapunk's will? Or does Lilith go and stay with the Giants or something? And then what do we do with Bonnie? Bonnie at this point, I feel like, is just really well written, had a really good backstory. And again, when it comes to carrying on characters' will, fits with Kuma, fits with Vegapunk, fits with her mother, so many of these other things. Bonnie, I think, just generally fits the whole vibe of what One Piece is right now pretty well. And while I hated the idea of Bonnie joining the Straw Hats, now I'm just like, why would they leave her behind at this point? It just feels like more dangerous to leave her behind when people are going to be hunting her than to carry her with you when she's already shown that she can essentially copy Gear 5th. She can do so much stuff more useful than most of the Straw Hats, I guess. So why not? Again, do we even need any other crew members at this point? She can just be like, give me a future where I'm a navigator, and she can navigate us there. Give me a future where I already found the One Piece. She's king of the pirates now. So it's like, where do we go with all that? No clue. Either way, I'll end things here. I'm yapping because I'm excited. I think this chapter was good, and I can't wait to learn more about, like, the Will of D, what's at Laughtale, because we're getting so much more than I expected out of this speech. Like, I thought, oh, the world's going to sink or whatever. We're getting the sinkening. And then that was going to be it. And then every chapter just keeps going by, and we're given more and more and more. And it's like, I did not expect all of this whatsoever. Usually Oda does his best to avoid all of this whatsoever, especially when there's still so much we haven't seen, so much we haven't heard about this stuff. We now know that Clover had the Will of D. We're getting, smiling death for Atlas. Like, wow. The only, do we have Vegapunk D Atlas? We had the smiling death for Pedro Pedro. Yeah, either way, I'll end it here. Thank you for watching. Like if you did like the video, comment down there. Tell me what you thought of this week's chapter, my thoughts and reaction. Subscribe for more One Piece, much more on the channel. Follow on Twitter if you want. If you want a link to the Discord server, it's free and open for anyone. Just ask and I'll give you a link. If you want to help support the channel by dropping a super thanks, it's appreciated. But if you do want these One Piece videos a little bit early, if you want a shout out or your name at the end of every single video, you can hit join down below to become a member. Go to patreon.com/HakuOfTheTubes, or a link will be in the description to become a patron. Thank you to people who are patrons and members already. Thank you to Chosen Regular Evan Holly, Magical Girls, FR Nono, Abyss Knight, and JH, Harrington Students, David Langstaff and Folded Ghoul, Slayer Candidates, SG and Stan Cedar, and Pure Element, Pateo de Owl. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for watching, for being here. Thank you so much, and I'll see you all next time.